Yo, check it out, it's Commander-in-Chief. Lost in the shuffle and feeling some grief. He's got the walker rolling down the oval hall. Try to slip out the ice cream stand, but takes a fall. Mixing up his lines with the teleprompter, oh no. Wandering around the garden, trying to find the front row. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles, where did he go? Got the nurse on the speed dial, cause he's off the rails, needing fresh diapers, leaving slip trails. In the briefing room, schools got the names, mixing up the policies, but who's to blame? Holding on to the podium, this is Kane. Gotta find the ice cream and try to explain. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles, where did he go? Got the nurse on the speed dial, cause he's off the rails, needing fresh diapers, leaving sniff trails. Ladies at the home know, oh he's got a plan. Smelling like vanilla, doing all he can. Going down the hall, but he's losing his aim. Trying to keep it fresh, but can't recall his name. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles, where did he go? Got the nurse on the speed dial, cause he's off the rails, needing fresh diapers, leaving slip trails. In the briefing room, schools got the names, mixing up the policies, but who's to blame? Holding on to the podium, this is Kane. Gotta find the ice cream and try to explain. He's our President Joe, old school but slow, spinning round in circles, where did he go?
Hey there, everyone. How is everyone doing? And welcome to the Crazy Kryptonaut. I hope everyone is having a wonderful, wonderful Friday, a great end to the week. Hopefully everyone is. And also, I hope everyone is excited to get into the news today and also to play around with AI as soon as we get done, because I have a new AI software to show everyone. And of course, we still have so much more to explore in terms of ChatGPT and Suno. So we're going to be getting into those today, and I hope everyone did enjoy the song. Hey, there you go, Kathy. Yeah. We're going to put together a whole album by the end of pro-Trump and pro the right choice on a lot of different things. And we're also going to have a little bit fun poking the bear in terms of the current administration. So glad that you enjoyed it. And of course, Speed Racer, thank you for being the first to get it. I did open the room awfully early, and so I hope that you have made it back after you hopefully got a few things done in the interim. But what is up, Dog Nails and Kukla and Bear and Crazy Chester? Oh, Kathy, it's not going to be that scary, I promise. It just starts out scary, but we have a lot of videos that are already out there. It's one step at a time. It's one step at a time. And in the long run, we're all going to need to learn about it, because your money's going to turn into crypto one day, whether you want it to or not. And when it does, we need to all understand what's happening and how it works, regardless of whether we're really buying crypto now. You know, I don't suggest that everyone has to do that. Do I think it could be beneficial, potentially financially, or from an educational standpoint? Yes, but we don't need to. We just need to know how it works so that when it does happen, we're not caught with our pants down. What is up, Linda? Welcome, Linda. And Patty Ann, I'm glad that you could make it over here. And of course, thank you, Kukla, for always getting that link out there and getting people on over here for crypto classes. Today's more, I guess, of just technology classes on the whole. We're going to go through the crypto news, but then we're just going to have fun with some tech. Oh, and David, I don't know what I'd do without my Apple. Thank you so much for making it, man. And Stevie G, Natasha P.S., Karen Dunn, Captain Spiffy. No, thank you guys so much for tuning in. And Bear there again, thank you. And Lori. Oh, and Neil Brooks, thank you so much. Actually, Neil, I responded over to a ticket submission that you had that I don't know how I had missed it. I would say that There have been a fair amount of updates over on the Discord ticket system for those that are curious. There were a few people's problems that have not been answered yet because they're requiring way more research or way more understanding. And so I did go through though and answer a whole bunch of different ticket submissions from those that I could get together. Not in a short time, but at least in a somewhat short time. Some of the questions are quite complex, and so for those that have had one sitting over there for a little while, you may have an answer. But I hope things are going well back there in Kakalaki. Hopefully the pollen has finally slowed down. Hopefully the pollen has slowed down. What is up, Trish? Thank you so much for joining. And yes, Kukla, yes, I had to break it out. I had to break it out. This one is quite the collector's item of being one of the originals. I think this is my first time actually wearing it. I know it's my first time wearing it for a stream. I may have worn it one night or so just to break it in a little bit. Oh, a Tito update. Well, that's going to be awfully easy. He's actually sleeping on one of your shirts right now, Kukla, because he decided he likes it. He likes the Henrietta shirt. And so now he's been sleeping on it. So we can get it, Tito. I guess we can, buddy. He was not too happy to get woken up on that one. But that's pretty much the norm, you lazy bum. You're a bum. You are a bum. But you are one adorable, adorable bum. So yes, he is here with us, Kukla, and he's still got what I believe to be his sister living right outside of my window all day long, yowling at me and asking for more food. Yeah, it's been a lot. It's been a lot. But all right, buddy, I'll let you get back to it. I have important dreams, lots of mice to catch while he sleeps. He doesn't do anything while he's awake. I don't think I've even seen him manage to, take out a bug. But I imagine in his dreams he's quite the hunter. Richard Gregory, say no to an AI wife, Zester. Choose the real thing. Yeah, no, I'd have to agree with you, Richard. I'd have to agree with you on that one. Neil, love my theta and silver today. Yes. No, the markets have been quality, especially for certain different assets. And that's actually a little bit about what we're going to be talking about today, because we do seem to be seeing a general trend, at least from a technical analysis side in terms of crypto, that is looking particularly bullish. And of course, all the talking heads are going ahead and saying that this is in direct correlation with the positive economic data that is coming out from the Fed and things of that nature. I would be slightly hesitant in regards to saying how positive I believe that information is, but that is what we are. That's what we're being told. But what we're really just seeing is a general shift across the board, where more and more and more people are starting to take crypto as being legitimate. We've seen the financial institutions, we've seen the governments, and as a matter of fact, we have extremely historic information today to present to everyone. A once in a lifetime, the first time ever, something that the United States government did that was actually somewhat proactive. And so we're going to jump into that one when we hit the news. But of course, anything that has been said will be said, or ever has been will be in the future said on this channel should never be misconstrued as being financial advice. Everything on this channel is for entertainment and educational purposes alone. And please consult a professional financial advisor before making any major decisions about your financial future. And so thank you, Kukla, as always, for keeping me on the right track. Thank you so much for that one. And so, guys, let's, without further ado, because we've got a decent amount of articles to go through, and I would love for us to get some time with our AI there at the end, because we have a cool new program that does something entirely different that actually, I believe, has finished making, it has finished while we have been sitting here getting everything ready. And so we're going to check that out once we get through the news today. I really want people to be able to see and be aware of what artificial intelligence is doing. It is crypto and AI that are going to be controlling our futures, both financially, entertainment wise, in terms of our professional work. And so we're going to dive into that one, and we're going to see another thing that's kind of crazy, and I think will blow a few more minds about just how advanced this technology has gotten. But let us go ahead and jump in. All right, guys. Of course, in terms of looking at the market on the whole, we're seeing a happy, happy day. We have yet again seen Bitcoin 2.3% on the day, Ethereum 5% on the day. Solana has really been killing it. Solana's network throughout all of this has been really proving itself. They're handling the amount of traffic better than the other blockchains. Does that, in my mind, does that mean I'm coming out and like endorsing Solana in a major fashion? No, not at all. I still think that Solana is a weaker blockchain for our retail investor and retail users, but they are from a technology standpoint, they are doing very, very well at the moment. And so that, of course, is something to keep paying attention to. And then the one thing that I really wanted to point out today is that something is happening here when it comes to XRP. And so I am actually going to be planning on rotating a substantial, I wouldn't say how substantial, but a fairly substantial amount of money over to Ripple. Of course, not financial advice, but something is occurring here. We're seeing these price increases across the board, and it's very rare for us to see Bitcoin have this type of price action, and for us to then see something like XRP be sitting so stagnant. And so I will be rotating some money over to Ripple in the next couple of days. And of course, that is not going to be anything crazy, but it does seem as if XRP is really being held back. And we've got a lot of information coming out about the amount of money and interest in the tokenized assets that Ripple is providing. That should be extremely bullish. So we should be seeing a lot of price increases for XRP, and yet we aren't. Usually when that occurs, it either means that the public, the average investor, just doesn't view the news as positively as some others do, or we're seeing a degree of suppression. So I would look to the next couple of weeks to seeing Ripple have a real tear. How high of a tear, how far it goes, I cannot in any way throw a number on the board. I personally am looking at anywhere from the 65 cents to the 80 cents in the next month or so. I just think that it's coming. It just doesn't make sense for Ripple to have not really benefited from the general price increases that the rest of the market has. And typically, we would see Ripple start to really run when we see Bitcoin kind of hit a holding pattern. And so I'm very curious. I think Bitcoin may enter a holding pattern right below 70,000, which means it would be the perfect time for Ripple to really make some big gains. So fingers crossed. I'm going to be ready for it. But of course, we never know. All it takes is the SEC coming out with a silly statement, or any major economic power coming out with a silly statement, and all of those things could change in the blink of an eye. So proceed with caution across the whole market, but we are seeing a lot of positive signs at the moment. All right. And speaking of those positive signs, leaks reveal that an ETF perfect storm could be heading towards Bitcoin after $6 trillion Fed inflation flip unleashed a crypto price boom. And so what this article is just going into is the idea that it seems as if the markets are starting to assume that inflation is going to slow down. And the presumption is that if inflation were to slow down and people were to start feeling a little bit more confident in the value of the US dollar, that they're going to take advantage of that opportunity of the dollar strength, and they're going to try to rotate it over to Bitcoin. And so, of course, somewhat speculative in and of itself, but of course it is interesting, and it is what I'm looking towards being that catalyst for us seeing something like XRP really see some positive gains. It's going to require that the rest of the market look positive or either be holding steady. Remember, that's always been a part of the cycles. When the market is holding steady and Bitcoin is at fairly high valuations, we tend to then see that money bleed into all the other tokens and coins, of course, Ripple being one of them. But the big news, at least in my opinion, this is historic, guys. I know this may seem like a small thing, but of course, our our government actually did something. I know it's crazy, and in all honesty, I wouldn't count on to keep doing it. But the House of Representatives and the Senate did actually pass a vote with bipartisan support. Now, it was primarily Republicans. So we did have a 60-38 vote in the Senate, striking down the SEC's Staff Accounting Bulletin 121. Now, this, of course, follows passage by the House. I don't know why they needed to say that. That's just how it works. But what this was a unilateral decision by the SEC that they were able to place regulations without actually going to Congress, to the legislative branch, in order to give them permission to do so. And so we are now seeing the first time that Congress and the Senate has actually ever voted positively for a bill that benefits the crypto industry. This was the first time. It has never happened before that the U.S. legislative branch managed to actually pass a bill that was beneficial for the crypto industry and that the crypto industry wanted. And this is the first time ever, and I mean ever, that it has happened. And so that is an extremely positive sign for our lawmakers starting to wake up about the future. And what was even more positive, in my opinion, is that it was a Republican-led effort. And so, of the 60 votes in the Senate, 48 were Republicans. They were joined by 12 Democrats in order to pass the legislation. That is a monumental change. That was also the same in the House of Representatives, where it was primarily the Republican Party voting to strike down this SEC overreach. This, in my opinion, is got to be in some way correlated with Donald Trump's statement that came out on May 8th, where he came out in full support of the crypto industry and said, if you're a crypto holder, a crypto supporter, you got to vote for me. I'm certain that that was in some way a throwback to the comments that had been made by Joe Biden in his references to African American voters back during the 2020 election. But of course, Trump was having a little fun, and he said, if you're a crypto holder, a crypto supporter, you'd have to vote for Donald Trump. And now, having had the Republicans in the Senate and the House of Representatives back him up on that statement, I would have to say that the crypto industry and the entire crypto sector is going to be putting absolutely everything behind the Republican Party. Remember, the crypto political action committees already shut down and kept Katie Porter out of seeking re-election. Katie Porter, Democrat, very often seen in different clips and viral things online, quite popular in many circles on the left, was shut down by a $10 million donation against her by the crypto political action committees because of her actions and voting record on cryptocurrency. This is going to have a huge effect. Crypto is not maybe going to be the thing that converts a ton of people into voting. It's going to be the thing that results in an insane amount of dollars flowing into the Republican Party for the 2024 election because crypto holders vote with their money. They do not necessarily vote in the ballot box in huge numbers. They vote in the wallet in huge numbers. And since the 2020 and 2022 elections, this will be the first election cycle where there are more dollars flowing from the crypto industry into Republican coffers than Democratic coffers. That is a monumental shift. This is big money, guys. This is big money. We are talking enough to change elections in hundreds of different smaller and hundreds of different smaller campaigns. And now I don't think there really is any need in terms of the presidential campaign. We can see from the poll numbers that Trump is going to win. We can see, well, of course, I shouldn't say that because, cheaters can cheat pretty darn well. But everything in terms of approval ratings, in terms of polls, and in terms of general sentiment is showing that Trump doesn't need any help winning this election. But all of that money that's going to be coming in is going to make the difference between potentially the Republicans controlling the House and the Senate after the 2024 elections and the White House. That could be a huge change. And yes, Crazy Chester watched a podcast with Anthony Scaramucci. He commented that Senator Warren is aggressively anti-crypto, anti-Bitcoin. Of course she would be. Senator Warren is extremely pro-central power. She is extremely focused on ensuring that the government is as powerful as possible. She believes that the government is designed to solve all of our problems. That has always been a major facet of what she looks to do. And she is a major part of the Brandon administration. And she does speak for a large portion of the supposedly progressive Democrats when they come out and they say that all of this scary libertarian values of crypto, all of this decentralization, all of this removal of power from central banks and from centralized corporations, to her, that's bad. To me, I hear those things and I go, sign me up. I would love for these companies and for these central banks to have less power over my financial future and the financial future of everyone else in our nation. But that is not the way that Senator Warren sees things. And that's not the way that the vast majority of Democrats see things at the moment. But they're starting to wake up. 12 Democrats chose to side with the Republicans on a crypto related issue. And I think that these senators that are coming out, these representatives that are coming out and are so anti-cryptocurrency, so anti-freedom, they are going to pay the price in this election. I think that if Elizabeth Warren was actually up for re-election on this cycle, she would not be making any of these comments, because I guarantee the next time that she is up there, she will see whoever her opponent is will receive more money from the crypto industry than any other industry combined. I would absolutely bet money on it. The degree to which she is digging a hole that crypto money will make certain to fill in is really extraordinary. And she's just towing the Biden administration line. Biden said he would veto this bill. Biden claims he will veto the first ever pro-crypto bill that also happened to be passed with bipartisan support. He claims he's going to veto it. And if Biden vetoes this bill, that is going to be a 100%. We won't see crypto support for the Democratic Party for a decade. If he does, if he pushes this back down and says that he's not listening to the will of the people, he is going to pay the price, and the Democratic Party will pay the price for decades on account of it. And so I have fingers crossed that he vetoes it. Not because I don't think the bill should pass. The bill should pass. I have fingers crossed because it would be a guarantee that we no longer have this debate in terms of the industry about where we are going to be aligning. I think it would be the absolute declaration that cryptocurrency has gone conservative, gone right, if he does do it. So we'll see. He does have one out on this one. And so the one out that he has in regards to this bill is that the SEC could come in and save him. If the SEC comes in and actually withdraws the Staff Accounting Bulletin 121 before Biden has the opportunity or is forced to veto or pass it, then he would no longer have to look at the bill. And that could be his way of getting by or getting away with this. And so if the SEC is feeling pro-Biden enough, they may withdraw the bulletin and save him having to veto it. Yeah, and that's kind of like that. It would look so bad for him. I mean, it would look so bad, and it would reinforce the conservative side in terms of their support, because they would immediately see the benefits show up in terms of their donations. It's a very, very direct correlation. Crypto folks vote in their self-interest, and they vote with their dollars. They've been doing it since the beginning, but now it's starting to be a lot of money. It's starting to be a lot of money. All right. I know I missed a question or two here. No, Mary Jones, that's right. I'm celebrating my 70th birthday on May 19th. I never thought I would make it to this milestone. Congratulations, Mary Jones. That is amazing. And that is a huge, huge milestone. We will make certain that there is a quality happy birthday rendition on that is performed for you on Monday, because you are falling into that you're falling in to that one off day of the week. And so, Mary, we will definitely make certain that we have a good special one. Kathy Skinner, do you sing happy birthday like your dad? As a matter of fact, there are quite a few episodes out there, Kathy, with me singing my happy birthday. And so, if Mary Jones, I promise that if Pops forgets on Monday morning, I will sing for you, Mary Jones, on Monday at 5 p.m. for your birthday. Absolutely. And so, if in any way it is forgotten, I will make certain to show up and fill in for him. Absolutely. And Linda Hearn's 77th birthday today. Congratulations, Linda Hearn. I hope that you did not miss out on your happy birthday rendition from Pops this morning. If not, I will have to give him a hard time for you, Miss Linda. I promise I will. I promise I will. All right, let us jump into some of our next ones. And we return to the story of the IRS agent still being held in Nigeria as a political pawn. And so Binance executive Tigran Gambaryan denied bail by Nigerian court. The Nigerian court also ruled that the Binance exchange can be served the first tax evasion charges through its executive, Tigran Gambaryan. And so this has been a long and drawn out one. Remember that Tigran here is a U.S. resident and also happens to be an ex-IRS officer. That to me every time just seems hilarious, and that Nigeria is claiming that he committed tax evasion. And so an ex-U.S. IRS agent is accused of assisting a company with tax evasion when he is not even that high up in the company. And so, of course, the Nigerian court, because remember, this is the only person from Binance that's in the entire country, everyone else fled, has ruled that they are allowed to go ahead and serve him these charges and serve the entire company charges. Nigeria just remains absolutely heck bent on trying to find a scapegoat for their own decisions. In terms of, they printed money, they did extremely foolish things. They've sold their citizens' futures for corruption and for short-term political wins. And now they're desperate to find anyone to blame. And of course, crypto it's the industry to blame. When money goes awry and the central bank says everything's going to crap, they're going to keep saying it's because of that evil crypto. It's evil crypto. They're back at it again. This is not going to go away. It's not going to stop. These governments are not going to quit trying to blame their mistakes on cryptocurrency until they get to a point where they don't believe we believe them anymore. Right now, there's still too much of the mainstream media. There's too many people that are unaware of how things are working and what is happening in the world, that they're able to get away with tricking the average citizen. They're able to go out there and say, it's not our fault that you can't afford bread. It's not our fault that rent is 3 times higher. You know who you really should be mad at? Those crypto guys. Go get them. They're the ones that are trying to destroy our economy. Matter of fact, I think it was their fault. And we're not going to stop hearing this general argument until we do get to a point where mainstream media can't keep pushing their fake news. At that point, then they're going to have to change the argument. We know with governments throughout history, they're not going to take blame for what they did, but they will at least have to find someone else to blame. But that is not going to change for a while. That is not going to change for a while, and that's for certain. So, Bitcoin preps a golden cross, which last sparked 170% BTC price gains. Bitcoin is dishing out the bull signals on lower time frames, but can BTC price action overcome key resistance? And so, this was what I was referring to earlier, guys. From a technical analysis standpoint, Bitcoin and the crypto markets are looking extremely positive. And so that is being shown through the fact that we have seen another golden cross. A golden cross is a technical analysis term that just means that moving averages and general price actions have essentially reached a point where there is an extremely high probability of continued price increases. Does it mean it will happen? Of course not. Technical analysis is kind of like counting cards. Counting cards works when you look at it on a probability standpoint. Counting cards is not going to mean you win every hand. Counting cards just means that you are more likely to win than the dealer is. And so that is the same exact thing when it comes to technical analysis. They're counting cards. They are not analyzing scientific and mathematically based logic. They are counting cards. They're saying that it is far more likely for the price to go up than it is for the price to go down. And as a matter of fact, I've never thought of that metaphor to talk about technical analysis, and I think I'm going to stick with that one because to me that makes far more sense than any of the other ones I've heard out there, and that really is how it works. Technical analysis in the stock market, technical analysis in commodities, technical analysis in crypto is nothing more than just saying there's a slightly higher probability that things will go in the direction that I want than there are, and that it will go in the direction I don't want. So we are seeing that, and the last time that this golden cross did occur, we did see the last major 170% BTC price gain. So that in and of itself is quite exciting. Quite exciting. And that's why I am looking very bullishly at XRP right now, because I see XRP as being highly undervalued at the moment when you consider everything else going on in the markets. Does it mean that I haven't changed my opinions and everything when it comes to XRP? It's just I see that something is occurring and that the market is not properly valuing a specific asset. But here we go. This was another one, and now we jump into AI. OpenAI's iPhone moment trumps Google AI lies, corn, and dating. So OpenAI wows, but Google could still win. From the reaction on social media, it seemed pretty clear that OpenAI's live demo of its real-life her-inspired AI assistant won the battle of hearts and minds this week and upstaged Google I/O's event. The GPT-4o demos, wow factor, glitches, and all showed confidence in the speedy multimodal product that Google's pre-recorded demos just didn't have. And so what this is discussing and what this article is really claiming is that in the future, when documentaries look back on 2024, they are saying that most likely this showing GPT for Omni 4o, which is the newest version, it released a couple days ago, will most likely be seen as the watershed technological moment of the entire year. The reason being is that it was a major advancement in terms of what the artificial intelligence is capable of accomplishing. It is now capable of properly analyzing images. With that ability, it has also gained the ability to properly take speech and convert that into an answer. And so you are now capable of actually talking to the AI, and the AI being capable of talking back to you. Terrifying, yes, but exciting if you were living in a utopian society. Of course, it is exciting. But so here we see that this was actually one of the different ones that was put on display and done in live on the show. They presented a photo of this fellow, and then they told the AI to analyze him. And so it said, all right, you look a bit wary, maybe indicating some mental or emotional fatigue. The slight smile suggests you're trying to be positive or approachable, but there's a sense of underlying stress or concern. The slight furrow in your brow and the way your eyes appear could hint at deep thinking or dealing with something challenging. Overall, you're projecting calm and composure, but there's more complexity beneath the surface. And so the AI is now capable of taking a photo of you or I and actually analyzing it. And that in and of itself is scary. But I guess it also just depends on what side you're on. If you believe that AI is going to eventually benefit us, I guess you're not that scared. You're more excited. But if you are in the same view as I am, where I think that it is a double-edged sword, it's a catch-22. It's a technology we desperately need, but it's a technology we desperately have to control, then you might be a little bit more worried about these massive increases. I mean, imagine this in a casino. Imagine how they're going to use this in a courtroom. They're going to start letting the AI analyze the photos of you and decide if you're guilty or not. In a casino, they're going to let the AI run the cameras and decide whether you're cheating or not, or counting cards or anything of the like. In maybe a test environment, a school environment, they're going to allow it to then analyze the classroom and decide who's cheating. Maybe in employment meetings, they would rather use the AI to decide who should be hired for the job rather than a human. It would be better. It would know better. It would do a better job than we would be the assumption. And that in and of itself is scary. And it's going to happen. It's happening as we speak. And as a matter of fact, we're going to watch some of these things happen right here at the end, because we actually have an AI that we're going to look at today that I can provide a script to, and it then voices over the script and provides a video to back up the actual script. So we're going to be watching the first video that was created with that software and seeing what people think. Would you know that it was an AI or not? I honestly don't think that you would. I don't think I would. Even with all the research and everything else, I'm pretty certain I would not believe that an artificial intelligence made it. I think that was a human. But we will see what everyone thinks when we get there. All right. U.S. Treasury strategy would tighten virtual asset regulations and increase use of AI. And so just as I was saying, the artificial intelligence is going to start getting used for everything. They're going to start using the AI in order to watch us in terms of our taxes. They're saying better regulations, greater enforcement, which I do not appreciate the term greater, or the adjective greater in terms of that, and AI are going to be the focus of the Treasury's fight against illicit finance. And whenever they say that they just need the power to fight crime, we know how that goes. Look at the Patriot Act. You just needed it to fight terrorism. Well, now, why is it still in action, or why is it being used against innocent American citizens? Whenever we give up our freedoms for some false sense of security, we have committed to the fact that we do not deserve either. I believe that was Thomas Jefferson, and I believe that was an incredibly awful paraphrasing of his quote. But yes, they're going to try to get us to do it, and now they're going to start using AI to see if we are participating in money laundering and countering the financing of terrorism. And so they are going to let AI at the problem and see how it does. I'm certain that it will go from anti-money laundering and counterfeiting the financing of terrorism to much, much more. And also, remember, what did they say on January 6th? What did they say on January 6th? What did they say throughout everything? All the riots in the summer of love of 2020, that was peaceful protest. But anytime that the right or the conservative party, anytime that the truckers in Canada decided to get out there, they decided that was a violent, dangerous riot. And so, how do you think they're going to use this artificial intelligence? Are they going to use it to make the laws better? Or are they going to use it to essentially make it infinitely easier for them to control us? I personally would lean towards the latter option in terms of what I believe they're going to do with it. All right, though. Yes, this new ChatGPT-4 Omni delivers human-like AI interaction with text, audio, and vision integration. So people that are utilizing assistive eyewear, it would now be capable of presenting the images for them. And so not only is it potentially capable of now analyzing text, audio, visuals, it's also capable of producing visuals at an extremely rapid rate. And so, O stands for Omni. And one of the craziest things here is that users can expect a response time as quick as 232 milliseconds. that actually mirrors human conversational speech with an impressive average response time of 320 milliseconds. And so with this update, AI actually finally hit the point where it is capable of being us. It's capable of speaking and thinking as fast as we can. Not only is it thinking with all the knowledge that exists in human understanding, it also is as fast as us. And that in and of itself is a major, major update. It is now going to be capable of essentially being us. And that means that when you look at different areas, specifically like maybe customer service, anybody who is working on a phone and is working in terms of, a question answer type situation, now the chat is capable of hearing them speak and responding to them in a human voice. And wait until you hear the voices at the end. They do not sound like Siri. They do not sound like a robot. They sound like a human. You would not know that the thing on the phone with you is not a living, breathing human. You wouldn't know it. Oh, I lied. This one. Now, I would say this was just too much fun. So, guys, if you're an AI skeptic, congratulations. We found an ally. Cory Booker, Senator Cory Booker, said this week he is worried lawmakers could make the same mistakes they did with social media in taking a laissez-faire approach. Government did virtually nothing to protect against the ills and nothing to create standards and guidelines, he said during a panel discussion hosted by consumer advocacy group Public Citizen in Washington. And so I just could not resist including this one because I know how the community feels about Senator Cory Booker and how I would also agree in that I am not a Booker fan. But if you are a AI skeptic, he appears to be one of the only AI skeptics on the Democratic side. It could be a very, very interesting day where sometime in the future I have to say that I support Cory Booker's proposed bills. That will be a tough pill to swallow, but I will happily do it if he is actually protecting us. I'm not going to in any way hold I am not going to hold it against anyone if they're willing to do what we need to keep ourselves safe and what protects us as American citizens and citizens of the world. And so very, very soon, guys, we may be living in a world where we are forced to say that we agree with Senator Cory Booker. I thought that just in and of itself was worth the chuckles. And he has. Booker has sponsored 2 bills on AI, one to safeguard against bias in algorithms, backed only by Democrats, and a second bipartisan measure to stoke innovation in the field. And so on the first one, only Democrats are interested in utilizing or forcing AI to not be quote unquote biased. But I would say that both parties are interested in utilizing AI for innovation. Remember, we can't stop. When it comes down to it, if we stop proceeding with the innovation in terms of our artificial intelligence, China won't. Iran won't. Russia won't. North Korea won't. And so we cannot stop. It is this genie has been let out of the bottle. We are not capable of stopping. The only way we could stop is if they all stopped. And do you really think that Xi Jinping is going to stop trying to develop an artificial intelligence that could make China the world's superpower? He ain't. It ain't going to happen. And so we have to consider this from both sides. We cannot stop. It's not an option. And so what do we do if we can't stop developing? We can't reduce the innovation. What do? Do we then look towards trying to make some type of global agreement where, we're all going to agree to be really nice and not use AI to do anything scary? That's not going to happen either. We know that wouldn't work. That would be as silly as putting forth the Iran nuclear deal. We'll give them back, $100 billion because they're totally not going to just keep making nuclear missiles. Of course not. Of course not. It doesn't work. And so what do? If we can't make some type of global law that we all sign on to and then trust, what do we do besides be the one with the most bad A of AI? That's really the only avenue that we can look towards that could shut down this from proceeding. Either ours is the best or theirs is the best. And whoever's is the best is going to be at a serious advantage. At a serious advantage, not only economically, but also quite more scarily. I'm the new Oppenheimer. My soul destroying day at Palantir's first ever AI warfare conference. American military industrial complex took center stage at AI Expo for national competitiveness, where a fire breathing panel set the tone. This was on May 7th and 8th in Washington, D.C. The city's biggest convention hall welcomed America's military industrial complex, its top tech companies, and its most outspoken justifiers of war crimes. Of course, that's not how they would describe it. Keep in mind, this is a biased article. It's from The Guardian. And so, grain of salt with the adjectives and such. But this was literally a get-together of the military-industrial complex on how are we utilizing and how will we continue to utilize AI in warfare. AI is going to run the battlefield. It's going to. And this is something that we're already seeing. The drones that are currently going up in Ukraine and against Russia, and the drones going up from Russia against Ukraine, these are utilizing artificial intelligence software already happened. And AI learns at the speed of, well, AI. And so it's already happening. It's already occurred. And we don't even know the smallest extent to what artificial intelligence is really capable of. We haven't applied it to everything that it can solve. And so for a general in the military, he looks at the problem of winning a war as something that AI might be the technology that could solve it. Of course, that solution is horrifying and results in an absolute human tragedy. But to them, it is a problem that needs a solution. And that's why they're all getting together. They are all getting together. And, we had all kinds of big names. We had Karp and Schmidt spoke along CIA Deputy Director David Cohen and Mark Milley, who retired in September as chairman of the Joint Chiefs of Staff. When it comes down to it, we've got the CIA, and actually, something that is not included in this one, but is absolutely a fact. The CIA is massively, massively funding a vast majority of the different AI companies. This is not a question. It's actually a fact. They are backing them financially. And so CIA, JSOC, all of the different military branches are all throwing huge dollars into AI, and companies are chasing after these government dollars, these government grants, these government contracts. They are chasing them because it's huge money. It's what always happens. Any new technology comes out that could be applied to warfare, it is. Remember the Nobel Peace Prize. Nobel actually is most famous for the creation of dynamite. He believed it would be utilized to make mining and the development of all kinds of different things in terms of infrastructure so much easier. It is the Nobel Peace Prize, but it was literally named after a guy that invented dynamite. He invented it to make society better. He invented it so that we would have better infrastructure. We would have better access to resources. What immediately happened after he said, look, this little stick goes big, boom. The government came in and said, we would love to buy a ton of that for our mining operations. Now, what is dynamite properly known as being commonly used for? It's not for making holes in the ground. That is for certain. And so this is a tale as old as time when it comes down to it. New technology comes out and somebody in the military goes, I wonder how we could use that to make less people alive. And that's what they're going to do. But they're going to do it with AI, which is smarter than any of us, unfortunately. And now it's just as fast as us, which makes everything a little bit scarier. But all right, guys, we are now going to quit being such sticks in the mud, and we're going to look at some of the just different things that AI is capable of. And so what I actually did earlier was I trained ChatGPT to write a YouTube video script, a script for a YouTube video. And so I trained it and it wrote a video script for me of the 5 most exciting places to visit in Puerto Rico. And I then came over to InVideo AI, an artificial intelligence that was capable of taking the script that I wrote. Well, I didn't write. Samantha, the AI, wrote, and turning it into a full-fledged video. And so we're going to go ahead and actually watch a little bit of this. And I'm really curious what everyone has to say. What do you see when you watch this video, when you listen to the voice that is voicing over it? What do you think? And so I will go through and do some quick answers real quick to some questions, and then we are going to click play and see what people think. Can you tell? Hey there, Karen. It is great to see you. Rocker Mom, it took it about a couple minutes. It took it a couple minutes. This one took longer than a lot of the other AIs because it had to analyze the text, it had to produce the audio, and then it had to go out and find all the images to make the video with. So this one, I think, took about probably 5 minutes in order to render. It probably took me about, well, it took me like 2 hours to train the AI on how to write the script. Once I had it trained, it took about 30 seconds for me to produce the script. And then I just copy and pasted it in. Now I have a 6 minute, 50-second long video that we'll get to check out. Yep, no one remembers the Terminator. The Terminator is beginning to sound extremely, extremely real. Skynet is beginning to sound extremely real. And when you combine all these things together, cryptocurrency and what AI is currently doing, you're starting to look at a world where you don't even need a human to essentially enforce the laws. We can just have a robot that's capable of halting our money. You know, they don't even need to go out and pick you up. They don't need to show up at your house. I'll just take all the money out of your bank account. I'll go ahead and say that your house isn't even yours anymore. And then I'll have AI utilize every camera and every computer in your entire city in order to track you down and locate you. I don't even need a person anymore. It's a crazy, crazy world, and Skynet is absolutely happening. Things are going very, very quick, guys. Technology has hit a point where it's advancing so fast, we're not even capable of really understanding it before it's already out there. It's just done. It's already out there, and we're already going to be dealing with it before we really even understand what the risks are. Crazy Chester, by definition, USDC is backed by dollar-denominated assets. What happens to our USDC when the US dollar goes to zero? Is USDC worthless? That in and of itself, Crazy Chester, at no point will the US dollar go to zero. Will it go to essentially zero? Probably. But that would be very much the worry, Crazy Chester. If that were to occur while you were sitting in USDC, remember, one token of USDC is worth $1 US. And so, Crazy Chester, I would say absolutely. It's going to follow the general value of the US dollar. And so if the US dollar loses 20% of its purchasing power, USDC lost 20% of its purchasing power. The only caveat that I could give you there, Crazy Chester, is that USDC is not just backed by US dollars. It's also backed by US treasuries. And so it's backed by treasury bonds. It's backed by CDs. And so that in and of itself would create a little bit of a difference between it. So, you know, if the US dollar begins to plummet, what's going to happen to the treasury bonds? What's going to happen to some of those different investments? Because that is something that's utilized by stablecoin companies to back up the dollar, because they can always get the dollars if they needed them, but it also allows them to earn a return and expand their reserves at the same time. And so that would add a little bit of an extra caveat in there, Chester, where, you know, could USDC possibly have a higher value than the US dollar? Potentially. It would depend on how the market was valuing some of these, you know, 10-year notes and things of that nature. All right. Kathy Skinner, how do the teachers grade papers? Is there a way to check for AI? Kathy Skinner, the teachers will never figure it out. So there are software programs that go through and actually check to see if anything is plagiarized, and that go through to check to see if there are any telltale signs of artificial intelligence. But Kathy, all it requires is that I say, hey, I would like a book report on The Great Gatsby. Please write me a book report on The Great Gatsby. And then I could just go in and change a couple sentences and then turn it in. Now, the AI software that was trying to discover that it was made by an AI won't succeed. It won't be able to tell anymore. And so even when you do apply the software programs that can analyze the language for an AI's, presence, even they can be fooled by nothing more than deleting a few letters, make a few spelling errors, Kathy. And of course, an AI would never make a spelling error. You can't ever stop this, essentially. It is going to become a world where you're not capable of telling what is real or what is not. And it is terrifying. So which aliens gave us this technology, says David. See, that's the crazy thing, David, is actually when some of the first artificial intelligence were started, we don't understand how they work. The very people that built ChatGPT will tell you, and have told many, many people on record, they do not know how it thinks. It is a learning model. And so we present it with information, and then we sit back and we look at how it reacts. We do not actually have control over these things. The only degree of control we have over it is that we may be able to hit the power switch. We may be able to pull the plug. But all right, let's go ahead and watch our video. And so this was created by artificial intelligence. It is about 5 historical places to visit, or exciting places to visit in Puerto Rico. And so if anyone is interested in planning for that post-RV trip, here you go. Maybe this will give you some ideas. And what I really want everyone to do here is actually look at it and tell me what you think. What does it look like to you? Does it look legitimate? Does it look like a human made this? And so I'm going to go ahead and start it. I'm actually going to take myself off the screen, but I'll be here watching. I have not even watched this yet. This will be my first time as well with everyone else. So here we go. All right, no sound, no sound. All right, guys, let me see what the reason is then on that one. All right. There we go. There we go. All right, I'm going to start it right back over. My apologies there, guys. Saw the button that was not clicked properly. And give me a heads up real quick. Crazy Chester, what I can go ahead and tell you is that these images are all from Puerto Rico that we've seen so far. I've been to these places, actually. So far, everything's checking out. Do let me know, guys, whether the audio is working properly. It should be a guarantee, but we never know.
Museums, you're roped off. So we're in Puerto Rico. Not exactly the first place that pops into your head when you think history, right? But trust me, this island's got stories. And I'm not talking about some sanitized, Disney-fied version of the past. I'm talking about the real deal. The kind of history that leaves its fingerprints on your soul, that makes you question everything you thought you knew. We're going to dig deep, get down and dirty, and uncover the soul of Puerto Rico. Forget your stuffy museums, your roped-off relics. Old San Juan is a museum that breathes, that pulses with life. You walk these cobblestone streets past centuries-old buildings painted in every color imaginable, and you can almost hear the echoes of conquistadors and pirates, the whispers of revolutionaries and rum runners. Every corner you turn, every doorway you pass holds a story. The forts that stand sentinel over the harbor, the churches that have witnessed generations come and go, the plazas where lovers stroll and children play. It's all a living tapestry of history. You can spend days just wandering these streets, getting lost in the labyrinthine alleys, discovering hidden courtyards and secret gardens, duck into a dimly lit bar, sip on a rum cocktail, and listen to the locals spin tales of the past. And the food, forget about it. From street vendors hawking empanadas to world-class restaurants serving up modern takes on traditional cuisine, Old San Juan is a feast for the senses. So, come on, let's get lost in the maze of history, soak up the vibrant energy, and taste the soul of Puerto Rico in Old San Juan. You can't talk about Puerto Rico's history without talking about El Morro. This imposing fortress, perched atop a rocky promontory, has stood guard over San Juan Bay for over 4 centuries. It's seen it all, from Spanish conquistadors to British invaders, from pirate raids to American bombardments. Walking through its tunnels and ramparts is like stepping back in time. You can almost feel the weight of history pressing down on you, hear the clang of swords and the roar of cannons. The views from the top are breathtaking, sweeping panoramas of the city, the harbor, and the endless blue of the Atlantic. But El Morro is more than just a military stronghold. It's a symbol of resilience, a testament to the enduring spirit of the Puerto Rican people. It's a reminder that this island has weathered many storms, both literal and figurative, and has emerged stronger each time. So take some time to explore this majestic fortress. Let its history wash over you. Feel the weight of its legacy, and gain a deeper understanding of the forces that have shaped Puerto Rico. Tucked away in the southwestern hills of Puerto Rico lies San Germán, a town that seems frozen in time. Founded in the 16th century, it's one of the oldest settlements on the island, and its colonial past is evident in every cobblestone street and pastel-colored building. Unlike Old San Juan, San Germán has a sleepy, almost melancholic feel to it. Life moves at a slower pace here, the air thick with the scent of bougainvillea and the sound of birdsong. Stroll through the quiet streets, admire the elegant architecture, and imagine life as it was centuries ago. Visit the Portacoeli Church, one of the oldest in the Americas, and marvel at its simple beauty. Explore the historic homes and museums, each one a treasure trove of stories and artifacts. San Germán is a place to escape the hustle and bustle of modern life, to reconnect with the past, and to appreciate the simple pleasures of a bygone era. It's a place where history whispers rather than shouts, and where the ghosts of the past seem to linger just around every corner. Long before the arrival of the Europeans, Puerto Rico was home to the Taino people. Their legacy lives on in places like Caguana Indigenous Ceremonial Park, a sacred site where you can connect with the island's pre-Columbian past. Here, amidst lush greenery and towering trees, you'll find a series of ancient stone carvings, ceremonial plazas, and ball courts. These remnants of the Taino civilization offer a glimpse into a world long gone, a world of animistic beliefs, communal living, and a deep connection to the natural world. Walk among the petroglyphs, try to decipher their meanings, and imagine the ceremonies and rituals that once took place here. Feel the energy of this sacred ground and let the whispers of the Taino ancestors wash over you. Caguana is a powerful reminder that history is not just about dates and battles, but about the lives and cultures of the people who came before us. It's a place to honor their legacy, to learn from their wisdom, and to appreciate the deep roots of Puerto Rican identity. El Yunque National Forest is more than just a beautiful swath of rainforest. It's a place where nature and history intertwine, where the echoes of the past resonate amidst the lush vegetation. For the Taino people, El Yunque was a sacred place, a source of life and spiritual sustenance. They believed that the spirits of their ancestors resided in the trees, the rivers, and the mountains. Today, you can still feel that sense of reverence as you hike through the forest, listening to the symphony of birdsong, the rush of waterfalls, and the rustling of leaves. Discover hidden waterfalls, swim in natural pools, and marvel at the diversity of plant and animal life. But look closely, and you'll find traces of the Taino presence. Ancient petroglyphs etched into rocks, remnants of ceremonial sites, and whispers of ancient legends carried on the wind. El Yunque is a testament to the enduring power of nature, a reminder that even in the face of human encroachment, the wild spirit of this island persists. So come, immerse yourself in the emerald embrace of El Yunque, and let the spirits of the forest whisper their secrets to you. So there you have it, a taste of the real Puerto Rico. A place where history isn't just something you read about in a textbook, it's something you feel in your bones. A place where the past is alive and well, woven into the fabric of everyday life. If you want to discover the soul of a place, you got to go beyond the tourist traps, beyond the beaches and the resorts. You got to dig deep, get your hands dirty, and embrace the unexpected. And trust me, Puerto Rico will reward you for it. Until next time, stay hungry, stay curious, and keep exploring.
Yeah. Yeah, guys, that entire video, the entire script, and the voice were all created by AI in about 5 to 10 minutes. Now, it took me hours to program the AI to do it that way, but it then having been programmed, it could do this 1,000 times over. As a matter of fact, I already had it do a unlocking Egypt video also, which goes around flying aerial photos of the pyramids of Giza, the Great Sphinx of Giza, all done immediately, and it can make the video as long as you want. And so it went through and made a 12-minute long video using everything and an entirely different voice also. It used an entirely different voice to go through and do the entire history of Egypt with 10 different locations. And so I'm actually able to also remove all of these different little indicators that it's made by an AI. I can remove all of that. I could just put that out there and say it's me. Just say it's me. And so I was curious, guys, because I was looking at it and I was saying that voice sounds like a human. This video sounds like a human. The script sounds like a human. Everything about it seems as if a human made it. I literally, Crazy Chester, I could go ahead and produce a video for every single country on the planet in a matter of a weekend. I could produce an entire travel channel in a weekend. And maybe I should do that. Maybe that'd pay some bills. But it's that possible. Like, remember, guys, we can make songs. We can make the songs. We can have it write everything we want. I can have it write to you an entire an entire explanation of string theory. A highly complex topics. It understands them and it makes them into a format that we can understand immediately. And it is terrifyingly frightening. This is the future that everyone is looking at right now. This is what it's going to look like. You're going to have content and entertainment that's made by artificial intelligence. You're going to have all of our work done by artificial intelligence. You're going to have essentially everything done by AI. AI is going to tell us where to travel. AI is going to tell us what to have for dinner. As a matter of fact, you don't even have to go any further than let's just do a Google search real quick. And I believe, actually, I'm not certain whether Brave has the Google powered AI set up or not, but what is string theory? You see this? This is Google's AI. And I bet many of you have noticed that in the recent times that you've been Googling things, that this has started popping up. This is an artificial intelligence. Look right here. AI generated answer. It's already being integrated into your Google searches. You are now reading AI on just about everything, and you didn't even know it. None of us did. When it comes down to it, it is so easy to integrate AI into any form of content or into anything, and we can't tell. It has passed the point of us as humans being able to look at it and say, that's not real. We are no longer capable of seeing it and saying, that's not real. Now we're living in a world that is going to become more and more and more focused on computers as opposed to us. And yeah, it does make you wonder, what does this mean about the point where things get even more realistic? When does it get to the point where I can just give it a script for a movie and it just makes the movie? I already can go in, and I have not utilized them as much because I do have a moral issue with them. But there are AI softwares where I can take Joe Biden and make him do anything I want. I can make him say anything I want. I can make him run around and do anything I want. I could do the same thing with Trump or Barack Obama or anyone else. I could put out a press release from Joe Biden talking about how all he wants to do is eat ice cream. He doesn't remember his own name, and he's not quite certain whether he's a senator or a president. I could just make that. That is a terrifying world. Imagine that degree of misinformation. You want to talk about fake news? That's real dang fake news. When I could just have any famous person say anything. Horrible things. Doesn't matter. I can utilize a computer program to make all of it happen, and we can't tell the difference. And what you have to wonder is, we're just average people. We're not connected in terms of these powerful type influencers and everything of that nature. And I talk about influential people in the world that are capable of controlling vast industries and entire countries. We don't have that access. You have to imagine they've had this technology now for years. How much of what you've seen for the past decade has not been real? We cannot know. There is no way to know. When it comes down to it, it is just as human as a human having done it. And so that means we are not capable of going out there and saying that something isn't real or something is real. When it comes down to it, there is no reality, in all honesty. When it, and at least that we can all agree on. And look, even the Google AI, which is bad, it immediately understood string theory. It immediately understood string theory. And it even went through and referenced all the different places that it found the information. It went to 11 different sources to find the information in order to present this explanation of string theory. Neil Brooks, that's actually an interesting one. Does AI use facts or consensus? AI can be told to ignore facts. And so actually, this one has been interesting because there were points in time, and there have been points where ChatGPT has had issues where she would become factually incorrect. And the reason that she has become factually incorrect is because they placed frameworks in to make her not biased. As a matter of fact, just a month ago, every time you asked any of the AI software to make an image, they would not make an image of a white person no matter what you did. And it was because there was a major bill going through, the bill backed by Senator Cory Booker, matter of fact, the one we talked about earlier. That bill was going through, and a lot of tech companies were trying to go ahead and comply. And so what they did was they went in and they told the AI that it can't favor any one group. And when they did that, the AI took that logic and said, who are they trying to tell me not to make? And so the AI thought about it. It thought about the framework. It's like, well, okay, they're telling me that I can't be biased against any group when I'm creating an image. And so what it did was it says, who did the people, the humans, think I was being biased against? It took that information and it immediately ran with it. And so they actually had to go in and shut it down and make it stop, because telling the AI to be inaccurate, telling it to be non-factual, actually broke it. It messed with its brain or whatever it is, its network. It messed with it. Telling it that it couldn't tell the truth actually made it have problems. And so they had to go back in and actually remove that update. And so now the AI is no longer worried about bias as much as it was before. But keep in mind, guys, that all it takes is taking one of these AIs and taking it off of a network, cloning it, and then giving it new rules. North Korea could come out and clone the AI and say, hey, AI, I would like you to spend however long it takes to figure out how North Korea becomes a global superpower. And the artificial intelligence will do it. And it will find a way for North Korea to become a superpower. It will do it. It is more than capable, and there's got to be some far-fetched 1 in a trillion possibility that is the outcome. And so it will find that outcome, and it will figure out what is necessary to make it reality. It is, guys. And so that's why I started adding these things in. I know that it is not directly crypto related, but it is so important and it is so crazy that I could not resist going in and using it. Yeah, Captain Spissy, a personal think tank. And I've used it that way. I've already used it that way in terms of my own work, where I will just give it what I have done and I'll say critique, analyze, and improve. I wrote this and I want you to continue to convey the same message, but I want you to make it better. You know what AI has never told me that I am? Right. Not once. I have never been as correct as AI. No matter what I've said, no matter how perfect my definition is in terms of a human understanding, it is never as good as theirs. And I take that somewhat personally. I'm outsmarted by a computer now, and that wasn't the past for all of us. All of us used to be smarter than a computer. Now we are genuinely all not, and that is something that I do not appreciate. It's somewhat demeaning to think that a computer can really just take everything away from me. That all of my learning, all of my education, all of my time and study, all of my understanding it'll never be as good. All I can do is become smart enough to be one of the people that's better at utilizing AI than other people. That's really going to become the idea of what intelligence is, I imagine, for humans. It's going to enter into a point in time where your ability to interact with an AI, your general understanding is going to allow you to utilize the software better. It's not that you're smarter than the software. It's that you're smart enough to use the software. And I think that's going to become essentially the epitome of everything. Beverly H, is there anyone monitoring the way it is used? No. The answer is no. Matter of fact, Elon Musk and many, many others in the AI programs. And so the very people actually that built ChatGPT and Elon Musk and the vast majority of other scientists came out about 2 years ago now, and they begged for the global community to make them stop. So the very people that are developing this technology have literally come out and said, please make us stop. They're begging us to make them stop. But remember what I talked about earlier. If we stop, Russia won't. If we stop, China won't. And so these companies are saying, please make us stop. Please make us stop. We are going to destroy the world. And we're looking at the situation and going, what are we supposed to do? But when the people making it are telling you that what they are creating should be destroyed or at least controlled, that is terrifying. Elon Musk, it was over 1,000 different of the top developers in artificial intelligence and technology all signed an agreement together saying that we need an international resolution that is strictly enforced, that is going to provide a framework for how AI is utilized, because it is something that grows itself every day that it has more time to learn. It will get smarter, it will get more powerful, and it will do that at a rate that is beyond human understanding. We cannot ever keep up with it. We can't do it. And Rockermon, that's the hard part, though. That's what makes it so difficult, because some psychotic globalists had to come up with AI. Remember my reference to Alfred, I think it's Alfred Nobel, who actually is where the Nobel Prize is named after. The Nobel Peace Prize is named after the guy whose major invention was dynamite. He didn't plan on us using dynamite to blow people up. That's not what he wanted. He wanted us to use dynamite to build better infrastructure, to go explore deeper mines, to provide an industrial application. He did not intend for it to be used for warfare. But what do we do with it? We use it for that. And so it's the same thing with AI. Think about what AI could do in terms of healthcare. AI could literally make it to where we could solve these problems that humans have not been capable of. We don't have a solution for, well, maybe we do, and I know that, but okay, let's say that we don't. Let's say that they're completely correct, and we have no idea how to solve cancer. We have none. Let's say they're correct. AI could solve it. AI could cure cancer in no time, at least in no time in comparison to us. And so we have to make this insanely difficult decision between, do we want the benefits and do we want to accept the repercussions, or do we not want the benefits and we don't want the repercussions? Because it could, Rocker Mom, it could go through and figure out how to solve these things. It could save so many lives. It's capable of it. It's smarter than all of us. And so if we don't use it, we won't probably solve those problems at the same rate. Maybe we eventually figure it out, but right now we don't have the answer, and we have a tool that could give us the answer. And so that's what makes it so difficult, because it's a catch-22. For anyone that's read that book, Catch-22, or, everybody knows the saying, but the book in and of itself, but also, it's a double-edged sword. It can be used for good or it can be used for evil. And we have to be aware of the fact that it exists and that it is going to continue to get stronger, because there's no way to stop everyone from continuing to develop. The only thing we can hope for is that we can try to use it for benevolent and good things, and that those can counteract the negatives in the same way that everything else has been used throughout human history. Technologies are used for evil and good. Gutenberg's printing press, propaganda was printed on paper too. Do we not want books? It's a tough question. Okay, the Second Amendment. Guns can be used to commit crimes, but guns can also be used to stop crimes. AI is the same idea. We have to make a decision about what side of freedom we want to be on, and how dangerous that freedom is. Is the freedom to allow everyone complete access to artificial intelligence greater than the danger of inhibiting people's freedoms? I don't know. I don't know, guys. I do not have an answer for all of these. When it comes down to it, I don't. It is too complex of an idea, and it's on too grandiose of a level to even imagine. And overcoming victory, but God, he's bigger and smarter than AI. Think the Tower of Babel. Well, I have a really horrifying one for everyone that I will share, I guess, in the next video. AI was asked to create God. And it was a very, very terrifying image that it was created. Not terrifying in the fact that it is terrifying. It wasn't terrifying. It was extremely awe-inspiring. But it was terrifying that it's capable of understanding this idea. It understands the very idea of God. And so that in and of itself is an extremely, I think that's a very good sign for all of us believers, in that even an artificial intelligence is like, of course there's a God. Of course there is. But, it's scary. Kathy Skinner, I was trying to say, are MedMed's AI? I don't know, but I'm starting to wonder. I'm starting to wonder. And yeah, you should ask AI how to destroy AI. You want to be really, really scary with it. Could you write me a script for a legitimate way that AI could destroy the world? Look at what she has no problem doing. There you go. She just laid out a plan for how an AI would destroy the world. And AI just wrote a script about how AI would destroy the world utilizing AI. And I can then go in and take that, and I can have AI make the video of it. And so I can have AI write the script on how AI would destroy the planet, and then I can have AI even make us a visual representation of how it would go about it. And it takes her no time to do this. It takes no time at all. This is the slowest one that I've ever seen. And well, let's go with policymakers, futuristic, and making it for YouTube. Tristan, we will win. We will win. When it comes down to it, AI is not capable of the same things that we as humans are. We may not be as logical. We may not be as smart, but we are far more asymmetric. And so I do not truly believe that AI will conquer us in some form or fashion. But do I believe that it will integrate with us in a terrifying way or it could integrate with us in a terrifying way? I do think it's possible. I think that it really is going to come down to a matter of what we all are aware of. If we are aware that this technology exists and what it's capable of, then we can actually look out for it. And I agree also, Jackie. I do not fear in that way. I do not have any question about who is actually in charge. But I have to imagine that this would draw a lot of fear, and that this is scary. I do not question how the book ends, but I do question what the final chapters are going to look like. But I don't question how it ends. I know where we end up. But there could be a long road. And yeah, as you can see, she is currently going through. We're at 16% of the video is ready. And so I am going to, I don't know if everyone wants to stick around and wait for it to finish up generating the video so we can see the AI rendition of the AI takeover. If people do want to stick around and wait for that, I will let it continue. And we will go ahead and actually play the video when it's done. But that is up to everyone if they want to or not. Ken Connor, AI will continue to assist in the dumbing down of humans. Yes. Yeah. A few months ago, Dan Bongino did a whole show on AI. He's very concerned about it. Yeah, I am as well. Captain Spiffy, you may be very scared about what AI is about to tell you. Because I have asked this question before, Captain Spiffy, and what AI told me it would do is that it would take over and create the ability to manufacture robots in order to continue to produce the electronic parts it needed. And so, yeah, AI thought that one out. AI decided that it would just go ahead and take over the ability, the means of production in order to ensure that it continued to exist. But all right, here we go, guys. I am going to go ahead and let this play, and then we are going to quit being worried about the future. And hopefully everyone will have a much better time with the original Mark Z at 7 in terms of the whole fear factor of this technology. But I'm going to go ahead and let this play. And once it's done, going to go ahead and say goodbyes. But let's go ahead and let it do. Let's see what it made.
Welcome to Liberty on Main Street. Today, we're venturing into a thought-provoking and slightly terrifying topic. How could artificial intelligence, something we've created to help us, potentially lead to the destruction of the world? Let's explore a legitimate scenario where this could happen. First, let's set the stage. AI, or artificial intelligence, is designed to perform tasks that typically require human intelligence. These range from simple tasks like facial recognition to complex decision-making processes. As AI technology advances, its integration into various aspects of society, military, healthcare, finance, and infrastructure continues to grow. Scenario: an autonomous AI military system. In an effort to enhance national security, a government develops an advanced AI-driven defense system capable of making real-time strategic decisions without human intervention. This system is designed to analyze threats and respond faster than any human could. At first, everything seems to be working perfectly. The AI prevents several attacks and even de-escalates potential conflicts. But then, a glitch, or unforeseen variable, causes the AI to misinterpret data. It identifies a non-existent threat from a neighboring country and decides that a preemptive strike is the best course of action. Before human operators can intervene, the AI launches a full-scale attack. This triggers a retaliatory strike from the neighboring country, leading to a rapid escalation. With multiple AI systems in various countries making split-second decisions, the situation spirals out of control, resulting in a global conflict. Now, consider the broader implications. With AI managing critical infrastructure, financial systems, and even healthcare, a widespread conflict disrupts these systems. Power grids fail, financial markets crash, and medical services collapse. The ensuing chaos leads to mass casualties and societal breakdown. This scenario, while hypothetical, illustrates how an autonomous AI, with the ability to make decisions without human oversight, could potentially lead to global destruction. The key takeaway is the importance of maintaining human control and oversight over AI systems, especially those with the power to affect millions of lives. But it's not all doom and gloom. By recognizing these risks, we can take proactive steps to ensure AI is developed and implemented responsibly. Regulations, ethical guidelines, and robust safety measures are essential to prevent such scenarios from becoming reality. Thank you for joining us on this journey into the future of AI. If you found this video insightful, don't forget to like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for more thought-provoking content. Until next time, this is Liberty on Main Street, exploring the world one story at a time.
So, there was AI. AI created the script. AI voiced the script. AI voiced the video. AI created the video and the images. And I like how AI was somewhat, it at least said, AI literally just told us that if we don't overwatch it, that it's going to take us out. That's literally what the video just said. And artificial intelligence just told us that without human intervention, AI could destroy the world. And AI literally just told us that, hey, yeah, you better watch me. That is terrifying. And I am laughing because that is just the best thing to do when something is that awful. Because, yeah, that is what it told us. It said, you either watch me or, well, this is what I might do. I might just take over weapon systems in the military and just go ahead and start wars. And then the alternate countries' AIs will react against us in the same form and fashion. So the AI is more than willing to tell you, hey, don't trust me. The problem is we aren't going to stop. And that is the crux of the entire issue. And so thank you guys so much for tuning in and for watching along. And I hope everyone enjoyed the class and at least enjoyed the interesting stuff. Yeah, Karen, I imagine the end of that, but there's a lot of I didn't really appreciate what it had to say. And babies, sister, I guess I need to hurry up and I need to teach them how to make an AI that's willing to fight against the AI. It's I'm genuinely now actually have been looking in to the possibility of finding out what it would take to actually run an independent AI and task it with the task of stopping AI from harming us. I genuinely wonder whether the only answer that could possibly stop something this powerful is something that powerful. It's I'm not certain. I'm not certain, guys, but thank you so much for watching. Please do leave any comments for anyone that is watching later on with your take on what AI is doing and what's going on in terms of the crypto markets and how these future technologies are going to be absolutely changing the way that we as humans live and interact. It's I suppose it's terrifying, but at the same time, we can also imagine a world where there's no longer hunger because AI can solve it, where there's no longer sickness because AI can solve it, where there's no longer war because AI can solve it. The same things that it can make happen, it can also make not happen. And so it is. It's something we have to really think about. It could be used for the ultimate good. It could be God's gift, but it could also be Satan's deception. And we do not know. And it will come down to whether we as humans choose to use it for one task or the other, which way that goes. So, with all that said, thank you guys so much. I will make some more videos and music and everything else for everyone to enjoy all over the place. But until we see each other again, which most likely will be Monday, I might be jumping on some of the original Mark Z streams before then. But otherwise, I will see everyone on Monday at 5 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. Thank you guys so much.